Hello, good morning, every single person. Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Knocks to Nuggets. I'm so excited that God has kept us alive to see the very last Monday of the year. Today is the last Monday. How great is it? How blessed are we to see this beautiful year? I know a lot has happened in this year. I know. And my heart goes out to everybody that has lost one person or the other in this year. I just pray the comfort of the Holy Spirit on you. I mean, a lot of us have been touched by one person or the other, but thank God we are alive. Thank God we are here. Thank God for his keeping grace. And yes, compliments of the season. To everyone joining me now, thank you. For those that will watch thereafter, I say a very big thank you. And like I will always say, like, subscribe, comment. Let's just have a good conversation as the year runs to an end. Last week was awesome. We started a series last week. It became a series because we could not exhaust the topic, making 2021 your best year yet. And my guest is still my guest today. I'm so excited to have him in the house. Is a friend of well over 20 years, is a chartered accountant, is a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, is a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, is a fellow of Institute of Directors, is a partner tax regulatory and people services in KPMG. He has over 30 years work experience advising multinationals and national clients on Nigerian taxes. He is a well-grounded family man. He's published various articles on topical issues, including personal finance. And last week, we had a great time and talked about creativity and innovation. That 2020 was that year that people practically fought back and their creative juices came on. He told us last week to assess ourselves. Where are we? What is success to you? And that was so key. Don't judge yourself by another person. To you, what is success? And it says to us, focus on opportunities and not challenges. One of the key things they left behind last week was that everyone must find balance. And that being successful does not make you happy, but being happy makes you successful. I can go on and on and on all the things we learned last week. And it left us with a gift. I said the first 10 people to join were going to get the gift. Now, I couldn't get the first 10 to join, but we decided to make it the first 10 people that passed a comment would get a gift. And today, again, the gift is still flowing. So to everyone who has joined, who has passed a comment, you are already winners. So I'm celebrating you. So let's go to today as I go on with Adewale Ajayi. So welcome once again. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. Merry Christmas to everyone.
Thank you. Last week was awesome. Thank you. We had a good time. The feedbacks were incredible. And as we were running off last week, I was saying I wish we could go on further and talk about goal setting and measuring your goals. So Wale, I'm leaving it back to you on the table. We started last year, making 2021 your best year yet. Where is goal setting in that whole bit? Is goal setting the same thing as New Year resolution? Because sometimes we do New Year resolution and 1st of January, New Year resolution. By the 3rd of January, it's all gone. So let's talk about that. Goal setting, New Year, are they the same? What is goal setting and how should we go about it? Over to you, Wale.
Thank you so much. Let me start by saying that there is nothing wrong in saying you want to make New Year resolutions. We all grew up, doing New Year resolutions, and every year we keep carrying forward what we've said we would do in the preceding year, right? The way I look at it is that when you make a resolution, it's a matter of defining the vision you want for yourself in the new year. So it just is not different, materially different from also setting goals. But I think what is different is the way we always go about it. Most times, when we do New Year resolution, we do it as a ritual. because the church has asked us to do it, or because our friends are doing it, so we're also doing it. So we're not really reflecting, deeply about what we're doing. It has become a ritual. It's become like a custom. So we're not really thinking about achieving anything out of it, right? It's become just a habit that we picked up. So we're not thinking, about it. But goal setting is deliberate, because what you're really doing is that you're sitting down and saying to yourself, what do I have to do in the new year? How far have I come from the goals that set, in the preceding year? How well have I been able to accomplish those goals? So it's all about, planning, and it's all about execution. What I've found out is that at least it helps when you start planning, right? At least you can get something done. Now, a lot of people don't even plan at all, and so there's really nothing to achieve. What I would say to people that set and define their goals is to think about execution. Now, somebody says when it comes to strategy, it's execution. A lot of the time, we set our goals, but we're not thinking about execution, right? So we're always looking for excuses why we can't do what we said, we would do, right? We're always feeling incomplete, or we're always looking at our background or looking at the money in our pocket and saying to ourselves that we're not well equipped, we're not like our neighbors. And so we always look for excuses. So at the end of the day, we don't get to achieve what we've said. But I think we have to be intentional. We have to be purposeful, especially in the year that we're entering. This is the year for us to be deliberate, for us to be intentional. And it's only when we're intentional and we're planning towards our goals, how we will achieve them, that we can get results.
Wow. So two things I hear from you: we must be intentional and purposeful. And you said the basic difference in New Year resolution and goal setting is how intentional we are. New Year resolution is like a fad. Okay, so 2021, what am I going to do? When it comes to goal setting, you actually sit down, reflect on 2020. How have you fared? And then what do I want to achieve in 2021? And one thing you said is, don't think of excuses, think of execution. And that is key in goal setting. Think of execution. So, but maybe I should ask you this before we go deeper. Is there an age after which you don't need to think about goal setting? Is there a point to get to and you don't need to think about goal setting again?
I don't think, as long as you're alive, right, you have to continue to set goals for yourself. Otherwise, what will happen is that you have a lot of people that think they're living, but they're actually just existing. Like they're living through the day. They are struggling just to get things done, right? So it really doesn't matter your age. There must be something that you must be looking forward to doing at every point in time, because what you don't plan can't get done, right? So there is no age. I mean, it would be difficult for someone to say that, he has achieved, he has attained, right? And so because he has attained, you have to stop planning. Once there is something you've attained, there will always be another goal that you need to set for yourself. So there really is no age barrier. There must be something that spurs you on. I mean, like I said, if there's nothing that spurs anybody on, then that person is just existing, is not living, right? And if you want to live, there must be something that is making you to live, something that inspires you to want to be the best in whatever you do. And so there has to be continuous improvement, right? I always say to people, being the best is the only market that is not crowded, right? And the only way you can do that is to continue to reinvent yourself, to become better in what you do. I mean, there was a quotation that I saw that I like. It says, if you want to become better, right, you have to learn, you have to relearn, you have to unlearn what you've done, and then you have to know how to be better. And once you know how to become better, you become better again. So it's a continuous process. So there really is no age barrier to it. We have to continue to reinvent ourselves, to become better in what we do, and simply being the best.
Wow. So there is no age. So if you're out there, no matter your age, you are 10, you are 60, you are 70, you are 80, as long as you are alive, goal setting is the thing. It's been alive, actually. You're not just taking space or filling space, you are just being alive, and that is it. Are there nuggets, are there keys, are there tips to successful goal setting, Wale?
Yes, there. I mean, there are. I think the most important thing is first start with the vision of what you want to be, what you want to see yourself in the next year. That is extremely important, right? Because if you don't have a vision, really, I mean, there is really nowhere you're going. There has to be somewhere you're going. I cannot imagine somebody waking up, very early in the morning, and he enters his car without having purpose as to where he's going to. Whereas I know that in this pandemic, we've seen, flights to nowhere. We've seen cruise to nowhere. But that is just to take people out of the boredom they're feeling. So you need to have something, that you need to strive to attain. So you start with your vision. So once you have your vision or what you want to do, then you're on your path, at least, to getting something done. So once that is defined, then the question will then be, what do I need, to be able to achieve that vision or that goal that I've set for myself? Now I know that a lot of people will always make excuses. At times what you may need might be the need for you to invest, in yourself. You need to read, you need to take care of yourself, you need to attend webinars, attend events, connect with people. Because everybody you meet, knows something you don't know. Now, but people will always make excuse and say to you, well, I don't have money, or I don't have this, I don't have that. But what I found out is that, a lot of people fail, not because, they're not resourceful, all right? It's just because, they are not thinking about what they need to do to be able to get things done, right? They're not working with the right people. They're not connecting with the right people. So when people tell me that, they don't have the finance, right? It's just an excuse as far as I'm concerned. I mean, like I said on Monday, if it is important to you, you always find a way. It is only when it is
Yeah.
not important you find an excuse. So you say to yourself,
Hmm.
what do I need to do to achieve that goal? And then of course the other thing would then be, who are the people that you need? How do you meet with people? How do you connect with people? Right? Because at the end of the day, you can't just be an island to yourself. You need to be able to look at people that will help you to achieve those objectives. And once you define your goal, you've defined the resources that you have, you've defined the people that you need. All then you need to do is to then, at times you might even need to break them down into bits and tiny pieces, because at times it may be very daunting to be able to achieve some of these big goals. So it might help at times to break them into pieces and then cross-check where you are at every point in time. That's what I would say that you need to do for you to be able to achieve an effective and efficient, goal setting process.
Wow, it's so much. It's having a vision. What do you need? Have the right people and break your goals down to bits and pieces so that you can always evaluate. Let me ask you this. Are there pitfalls in goal setting? Are there things, I mean, a lot of times people set goals. So they've done all of this, they have a vision. So I'm planning to become this, and I've said this is what I need to do. I have tried to, but somehow I still don't achieve it. What are the pitfalls that you need to avoid in this coming year?
Okay. What I've found out is that a lot of times, why people fail when we set our goals for ourselves may just be because we're not really thinking seriously about the goals that we've set, right? We just think that, well, let me just set the goals because a lot of my friends are setting goals, or they've always told me that the best way to achieve anything is to set goals, right? So people set goals without really reflecting, as to the relevance of the goals that they've set for themselves, right? Now, I read somewhere that, if you dream and your dream doesn't scare you, then you haven't dreamt at all. So you have to keep dreaming again. I mean, that's just the way it is. There has to be something that really, really will keep you going. And the other thing I would say is that you then ask yourself, in the context of the goal that you've set, is it in respect of something that you are passionate about, that you love, right? What I've found out is that if you love doing something, right, there is no way you will not be successful, at it. But most of the time, we're setting goals just because we've seen our neighbors set goals, or we've seen our neighbors want to do something that we feel that we also need to do it. So it's not something that we really desire. And if you don't really desire it and you're not passionate about it, there is no way you can be successful. And then the other thing that I also see as pitfall is that we really don't challenge ourselves at every point in time. There is nothing bad in failing in what you've said. But the question is, so how did I fail? Why did I fail? We're not doing that self-reflection as to why I failed in what I've said to ourselves. But we accept failure as it is, that well, it is not meant to be. Well, God has destined that I will not succeed. Yeah, I mean, I don't believe in that. All we need to do is to look back. Even God, when after God had created everything that is created, He says, God looked back and said He saw that it was good. So you need to do a reflection and ask yourself, why did I fail? What was responsible? Was there something that I did that I did not, I shouldn't have done? There must be some lessons to learn. But unfortunately for most of us is that we don't learn from this. We move on, right? As if nothing has happened. And we set another set of goals. Now, when you keep setting goals and you keep failing, then you get yourself discouraged. And you don't see any need to continue on further. And that is why a lot of people really falter. And when you come to that stage where you keep failing in everything that you set for yourself, then it's going to be difficult to get yourself back on the right track. So what I would like to say is that the first thing is that one must always reflect and be sure that, ask yourself, why did I fail in what I did? Is this something I really believe in? Or did I just set that goal because I've seen my friends set the same goal, right? So when you can reflect on that and then, are you passionate about it? There's really no way, because every failure, every challenge that you face is just going to be a setup, for progress. Because I've always believed anytime there is a challenge, there will always be opportunities. The question is, what do you see?
If there is a challenge, there will always be opportunities. The question is, what do you see? Wow, we are 17 minutes gone and we are about rounding off. Time just seems to fly. I'm wondering, is this clock actually right? But you have said so much about goal setting today, and I'm glad with all the feedbacks I'm seeing in the house. For everybody joining me again, I want to say a big thank you. Somebody I've not seen in a long time is on this call, Feintola FFO. I appreciate you being on this call. I truly appreciate you being here. It's great to have you on this call. FFO, love to see you here. And everybody on this call, thank you. And your participation has been awesome. All the nuggets you have been bringing on have been very awesome. Thank you so much. Goal setting comes from a personal drive and not because it's a fad. And that is very key. Most times it's like everybody is doing something and just think that is the way to go to make money, and you go in that drive, but you don't have the passion for it, you don't even have a clue about it. And that was why on the 7th of December, we took time to talk about mentorship. Learn what you want to get involved in. Let somebody be there to mentor you. Let somebody be there that can show you the way. Have somebody on whose shoulders you can stand to go further. Why you've said a whole lot today. It's 18 minutes gone, almost 19. I want to take your last thoughts, but for everybody on this call who have participated, I'll take your details, I'll get back to you, and you will definitely get your gift from Wale. So Wale, let me take your last thoughts.
Okay, let me just kind of piggyback on what you've said on mentorship, because for you to be successful, I mean, from the series that we started discussing last week, you also need to have people that are successful, around you. That is very important. You need to surround yourself with people that are successful, so you need to have mentors. Mentorship is extremely important. But what I've seen is that a lot of people always try to limit themselves, right? They limit themselves to their mentor. They never believe they can become better than their mentors. But that's not the whole idea. That's not the idea. The idea is that you need to imagine a life that has no limits, where you can truly be what you want to be, right? Yes, your mentor is there to guide you, but you can do better. So you need to have a vision that you want to surpass, your mentor. That is the best way, to be able to be successful. The other thing I will say before we leave is that I know a lot of people are trying very hard to be successful. They set goals, they're not achieving those goals, they feel themselves drowning, they feel they're making themselves miserable, they're working extremely very hard, and at the end of the day, there is no result. They cannot understand why there is no result. What I would say to them is that, at times, right, you need to always ask yourself, right, what exactly are you doing? It's not so much as in working hard. It's what matters is working smart. It's not so much as the amount of time you spend. It's the quality of the time that you put in that really matters. And that's what is going to make that difference that you're craving for. And what I would say to you, it's always good to set goals, right? At least that's the best thing to do, right? But you must always check yourself. Is this something that I truly want to do? Right? Is this something that I truly believe in? Is this something that I'm passionate about? And always at every point in time, review your performance against your actual result and ask yourself, how have I fared? And that's the only way you can truly become successful in what you do and become the best in what you do. Because always believe that you can become better, you can become bigger, and you can become stronger. Thank you.
Wow. Always believe you can become bigger, you can become better, you can become stronger. Awesome. And something you said, I want to reiterate and leave with our audience is this: never limit yourself to your mentor. You can be bigger. And imagine a life that has no limits. Imagine that life that has no limits. As you go into 2021 without limits, imagine you can take it all. You can have a life without limits. Thank you so much, Wale, for being on this call. Thank you for sharing with us. Thank you for the gifts. I do truly appreciate it. God bless you. Have a glorious 2021 ahead. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate.
Thank you so much, and all the best, everyone. Bye.
Bye for now, Wale. Thank you so much. That was Mr. Adewale Ajayi. Fantastic time out. Like I did, and I want you also to do the same. Go back and listen to this again and again. For everybody that joined me on YouTube one day, thank you so much. Everyone who joined me on YouTube, everyone who joined me on Facebook, thank you so much. And next week, Monday, wow, I'm so excited. It's the first Monday in 2021. And I have with me on that show my number one cheerleader, a business strategist, an engineer by profession, no other but Gilbert Ute. He will be with me at the first edition of Knocks to Nuggets in 2021. So until I come your way next week, Monday, don't forget this. Do not limit yourself. Imagine a life without limit. And God bless you as you take in all of this and you also put them to practice. Work what works. And until next week, Monday, have a wonderful new year. Together we win. God bless you.